So I guess the first thing to do is once the script has been written, and this is a very important point because as you can appreciate, if kids start off looking at the pictures or taking the pictures, it works for some of them, but some of them get too caught up with what it is they're taking pictures of. So I often like to have the kids work through the script, go through the writing process first of all. Once that has been finalized and we're ready to move on, then we open up the photo story and we have the students select and import the pictures that they are going to use in that photo story. As you can see on the bottom there, highlighted in yellow, we can easily and quickly rearrange the order of how we want the pictures to come in. Now, this is where we're back to our written script. This is where the student will narrate each and every slide. Okay? Pretty straightforward. They click on the little red button. They read out their sentence, their paragraph, whatever it might be, and then they stop it. And the beauty about it is that they can always preview to make sure that the audio came in crystal clear. Now, another option A I've called this, is for them to add text to their pictures. You have to be very careful here. You don't want to burden the picture with too much text, but maybe a little heading or a caption at the top or the bottom of the picture, the slide. That works out A-OK. Option B, we can customize the motion. So we can determine and tell Photostory 3 for Windows how long we want a given picture to be up on the screen. So we can actually alter the starting position and how long the picture will stay up and where it will end. So that's a really neat feature. That is not necessary, but some students enjoy dressing up their stories like that. We can also have transition going between all of the pictures. Okay. Now, by default, Photostory 3 for Windows, if you opt not to put in any transitions or any customized motion, it will, by default, do that for you. Okay? So that's something we'll have a look at as well. One example, though, is if we put a text caption in, then there will be no motion in the picture for that particular slide if there's a text caption in there. All right? Now, the even more fun part is that the students have two options. They can select music provided by Photostory, okay, which is part of their library, or, as most of them want to do, they're going to want to select their own music. Okay, so they may have a favorite pop song that they like, or the top 10, or Justin Bieber. I'm not sure what they're listening to nowadays, but they can import that to play in the background, as you saw in the first example we looked at. Probably the most important step here, folks, is that if they opt to put music in, please ensure that the volume is dragged down to the lowest possible setting. Because what we don't want is to have the music and the student's voice competing. Okay, because what will happen is that the music will drown out the student's voice. You're not going to be able to hear clearly, and that just causes all kinds of trouble. Right?
Oh, Sarah has a question.
Go ahead, Sarah. Sorry.
She's asking if are there any copyright issues with adding the music in?
Sarah, that's an excellent question. And what I do, I will mention that to the students that, obviously the music should be their own. Obviously it's not. So what I do tell them to do is that they have the music available in the Photostory 3 Windows software. If they feel that they want to take a chance and put in, their favorite top 10, then they can do that as well. Okay? And to date, knock on wood, Sarah, there hasn't been an issue with that. Right? Excellent question. Now we are ready for production. Very important that we choose the right setting here again as well. We can preview it. The setting that I typically choose is just for playback on the computer, because we can then have a look at it and send it in an email after that. Okay? So we're looking for playback on your computer. And obviously be certain to properly name the file title for your movie, which will be created. Right? Profile for one computer. This is pretty well default settings again. And it even tells you how big your movie will come out to be. All right, now that's good. Now, if students have not finished their project, it's important that they save the project. If they save the project, it's going to save as a WP3 file. Okay? And so let's say we worked on it for half a class, never got it quite done. We save the project, we open up Photostory again, and we can continue editing the project.